Here we go.
Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Soup Bowl. I am your host, Renee Murdoch, and I am so happy that you are here liking, subscribing, watching, doing life with me, and I'm happy to be doing life with you. So we out here in the Soup Bowl, in these streets, getting messy, because that's what happens when we're leading our own lives. That's what happens when we're doing life together, right? Because we were never meant to do life alone. So hey, just continue on this ride with me. I'll continue on with you. We can learn from one another and grow together from one another. So hey, just keep tuning in, keep watching. We're in season 2, and I'm just so glad and happy about it. So guess what? In season 1, right? Remember, I wrote a book, Leadership, Evolution, Navigating Challenges, and Inspiring Growth. You can get it if you go to Amazon.com. It is available in paperback as well as ebook. You can also get it on Barnes & Noble's digital. I'm not sorry, but you can get it in paperback as well. Only on Barnes & Noble's, but it's only on, you have to order it online. It is not actually in the actual Barnes & Noble store. If you've already got the book, thank you so much for purchasing. Thank you so much for reading. And most importantly, thank you for getting in those reviews. Come on, people. If you purchase the book, I need you to get those reviews in. I know a lot of times we don't like to go back and look at and write those reviews, but I want you to make sure that you do that, right? Just go, if you only read like 2 or 3, 4 chapters, go back and say, hey, I'm going to write a review about this because it's really good. It's really inspirational. It's really like, man, it makes you think. It makes me think about how I'm responding to people, how I am looking at myself, right? And in working on things internally, right, that they are showing up externally. So get out there and I'm the kind of person that I literally, actually look at reviews before buying a lot of things. So if there's a lot of people out there that's like me that are not going to purchase anything until they see those reviews. We want to know what other people are thinking. Because we believe reviews are real people, right? It's not a computer systemated thing. It's not an infomercial where somebody might have paid you to do something. But these are real people that's using these products, and I want to know, right, what they really think about it. How are they using it? What things did they, find that were good? Some things that were bad. Now, interesting enough, right? Like when someone does, like, how they do, like, I guess it could be a sweepstake or whatever, or they do those surveys and, enter to win, right? I want to know who's winning this stuff, right? I want to know who is winning these things, right? Because I like to do surveys too. And so I have not won one yet. And I want to know who's winning them. Are they just trying to get feedback? If you're just trying to get feedback, just give us like a discount. We'll still do it. Okay? But anyway, so thank you so much for doing that, going back into Amazon, actually writing that review. I appreciate it. Hopefully soon I'll have a book signing. If I can we can come up with a way. We actually want a book to be signed, but hopefully I'll be doing one in the VA pretty soon. Anywho, continuing off, right, from last week when we talked about getting good rest and those challenges that happens when we don't get good rest. And so we're really, looking at what happens when we don't really take care of ourselves, right? When we don't take care of ourselves in a way of resting that we're really not able to lead effectively, lead our lives, our own personal lives, leading within the construct of our homes, and leading right within the space of whatever your career may be. It's very difficult to do that when you're not getting the proper rest. And so what does rest stand for us? What we're talking about, rejuvenate, essential support and time. Those are the things that you need to do, right, that can help you rest, right, and be an effective leader. When we're not resting, just kind of recapping just a little bit, when we're not resting, we're causing more harm than good. We're causing more harm than good. And by us not resting, we tend to do what? We tend to cause harm to ourselves mentally, emotionally, and physically. And also spiritually, right? We're causing harm. And a lot of those things are internal before they become external. And so what I mean, like if you're not resting, right, then you're actually causing more stress, right, on your body as a whole. We only get one. We only get one body. We're not cats. We don't have 9 lives. We're not robots where people can go back and fix us and, redo our batteries, redo our computer system. So we only get one body. We only get one. And so we have to be very mindful of what we're doing to our bodies, what we're putting in our bodies. Because a lot of times, now get this, I'm not being insensitive to anyone that currently is going through some medical conditions that maybe you were born with. I'm talking about this self-harm that we do to ourselves, right? I'm not talking about self-harm that we like to look at as far as like cutters or burners or things of that nature. I'm talking about because we do not rest properly. We think it's like, oh, go hard or go home. And that's what a lot of people like to tell us, right? And you can go hard, right? But that doesn't mean going hard that I have to be doing 18-hour days every day, right? I know that you're trying to be that entrepreneur, right? And that you're trying to get this grind on so you can get to a place where you rest. But how about you just grinding, and then you get there and all of a sudden you're no longer here. Like we hear a lot of stories about that. That's really sad because you've worked so hard, but you really don't get to really see the fruit of your labor or even experience the fruit of your labor. Although the things that we are doing, it should last and it should go on from generations to generation, right? So there's that part of it. Hopefully that it does last and it does go on, but you're not here to really know if that is right, that it's lasting, right? It's a lasting product. It's a lasting service. So we cause things like chronic stress, right? Because we don't have enough sleep and we're not getting enough time to our bodies to recover. So we're causing things like sleeping disorders and ulcers and cardiovascular diseases, right? And this is called like this crash effect that happens. Like our body just completely just shuts down, right? And those things, builds off of other things, right? So that's why it's important, because when you deal with those things, sometimes what does the doctor want to do? What's the first thing that doctors want to do when they're like, oh yeah, we did find something? They want to give you some medicine, right? They want to, drug you up with some stuff. And then that medicine does what? Causes other side effects. Then causes other things. So this whole time, like you're in this repetitive cycle, right? And you just never get off of it. But if we are taking care of our bodies and making sure that we're getting rest, then that's exactly what is going to happen. And so, sir.
Yes.
Okay. He wanted to make a cameo, not talking about the marriage, but I guess this way to show everybody that he has chores and he does them. Bravo. So anywho, babe, make sure you get rest after you get done with that, okay?
I rested before I did it.
Okay, great. And so see, he's already recharged and rejuvenated and ready to go for this chore that he's doing. But anyway, you're getting these, right? You're taking these drugs. You can't get off of them, right? Which is causing other things. It's like, have you ever been sitting there watching TV, right? And they have like, hey, here's this new drug and it can help you get rid of this. And then it tells you all the great and wonderful things that it can do. But then before it ends and before they tell you how to get it, it says consult your doctor. But if you are, right, if you already have this, then don't take it, right? And then it also says, side effects. And it has like a long list of side effects, like 20 side effects. I don't think I want to take that drug if I might experience, right? It says you might experience this. Not saying that you will, but you might experience this. I don't think I would be the person that would want to actually take that particular drug to get rid of one thing, but then now I gotta incur 20 other things. Why in the world would I want to be taking something that causes me to be constipated? I want to go boo-boo when I need to boo-boo. And I don't need to be trying to figure out, oh, I need to go drink this, I need to get some prune juice, I need to do that on top of this, just so I can boo-boo. But then I'm going to take this medicine over here so I can stop this other effect, but then it's going to give me constipation. Or you might break out in a rash. Do it looks like I want to be looking at my skin with a rash on it? I mean, ladies, you know exactly. I mean, men probably don't care because they just don't care, right? They probably have a rash, you know what I'm saying, all over their freaking face, and they just went by. They still go out there in public and still be trying to get one. Still be trying to get one. If we break out in a rash all over our face, right, we like, yo, no, I can't go. I can't go. I don't know what's going on, but I can't go out the house. Like, we're literally calling into work. We're not coming. We're not covering. Makeup is not covering this up. We're not going. I don't even want to look at a rash on my leg, right? Like, we're in the mirror looking, what's going on? Like, no. So why I'm going to take some medicine that's going to cause me to break out in a rash? I don't know. And the rash might either be reddish, it could be white, it could be, bubbling up or whatever. Don't worry about it. That's just what it does. There's no harm in that. You don't need to go see a doctor. What? Yes, I do. Yes, it looks like this thing is pussy and it's about to pop. It hurts. Yes, I do need to go see a doctor. Okay? I don't care what you're saying. I need to go see one. So anyway, yeah, no, I don't want to do it. Okay. So why would we not make sure that we're getting enough rest? And a lot of times when people are like, oh yeah, I got an ulcer, whatever. Oh yeah, it's no problem, whatever. Most people that I have known, right, that have had ulcers or whatever, have a very lifestyle, has a lifestyle that they're constantly always going. I don't know anyone, I've never met anyone with an ulcer that, is every time I turn around they're on vacation. Like I don't know anyone like that. So I could be off. I could be wrong. But I mean, I'm just saying medical studies have shown and proven that this is one of the main reasons of ulcers. And so I would just say to just make sure you get that off of your list as far as self-harm, to just make sure that you get some rest, right? Because if you're constantly going, you're not sleeping, you're always moving, you don't sit down, right? What? Like, sit down somewhere. Like, I met my husband, like, would you just sit down? Would you just sit down? Like, I didn't realize how much I was going even when I got home, right? So as soon as you hit the door, right, you're setting your stuff down, and then I'm just going from there and up until almost it's time to go to bed. And then I sat down, I've eaten, but even sitting down eating, I didn't realize that, okay, I'm fixing plates, I'm putting them on this table, then I'm going back in the kitchen and I'm making sure that the kitchen, don't ask me why, but anyway, I did this, making sure that the kitchen is neat enough for someone else to come in the kitchen and clean it. Yeah, that's crazy, right? That's crazy. But that's what I used to do. Making sure the kitchen is clean enough for somebody else to go back in and clean the kitchen. What is that? Sit down somewhere, Renee. Sit it down. So I would clean up while I was cooking. So when I say clean up, I mean like if I would wash dishes while I am cooking. So at the end of it, right, whatever was left, like that's what you're cleaning, those pots, right? You're cleaning the dishes that, that we actually ate off of or whatever. And then, but at the same time, I'm wiping counters and things like that. And then still, even after fixing plates, I'm going back in there, making sure, let me put this here. Let me make sure this is here soaking and it's filled with water. So there's no excuses of why you can't watch this pot. Okay, anyway. Yeah, that's just crazy. So, I'm going to be honest with you because I just believe being honest. And you're asking, Renee, do you still do that? Go ahead and ask me. Okay, you asked me, okay. Well, it depends. It depends, right? Not as tedious as I was before because I'm doing better, right? Because I want to make sure that I have a long life. So I'm doing better. I'm learning to sit down, right? Like even a couple of times, I know some of you that know me, this is going to shock you. This is literally going to shock you. And you're going to be like, yes, she's winning over here. And right, because I want to win and I want you to win too. So see, you've helped me, right? And so I'm going to help you. And I'm just going to be honest about it, right? I went to bed a couple of nights without washing dishes and leaving them in the sink. One, the main reason is because it wasn't my turn to wash them. It was someone else's turn. They didn't do their chore. And so I left them there. I didn't do it. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't do it. I left them there. And on top of it, come on, you're going to be like, let's go, Renee. I didn't say anything. I didn't wait till the person got in the bed and then was like, yo, you need to do them dishes. Or why you didn't do them? I didn't say anything. The next morning, right, the person gets up, gets dressed, whatnot, leaves, and goes about their day, and I didn't do the dishes. I didn't say anything about it. Let's go, Renee. Let's go. Come on. Yes, that is huge for me. I'm celebrating the small wins, right? Because I'm learning how to rest. I'm learning how to rest. I wasn't, right? Because, I went from they need to get done, I'm fussing, and I just went ahead and did them. From, okay, I'm not doing them, but I'm going to say something to you about it. Then to the point of like, no, I'm not doing it. I'm just going to go in bed, mind my business, and I'm going to bed. Right? And so I'm going to bed, and then I get up, right, and then I will wash them. Then I went to, okay, I ain't saying nothing. Because when you don't have a spoon no more, I think you're going to realize that they need to get washed. Right? Okay, yay me. Okay, anyway, so, that was just a little, testimony. Testify, right? Like, we got to testify sometimes to one another. So that's just me being honest, growing, right? A little something, right? To make sure that I'm learning how to rest mentally. Yeah, okay. So last time, right, we talked about, right, there was those 4 things, right, that equals coming together to rest, and that's rejuvenate, right, and also what's essential, right, to make sure that we are resting, and then the support in the time. So we talked about, rejuvenating. What are those things that helps you restore and keep you in your youthfulness? Yes, we're always can be youthful, right? What are those things that helps us stay youthful, right? I didn't say immature. I said youthful, right? So like you like to go skating, roller skating, ice skating, right? Those activities that doesn't really cause you to plan and prep and do those things. Like you just want to just enjoy yourself, right? Maybe you want to, like my cousin, like we don't talk like on the phone or whatever, right? Like we're cousins and we, seen each other as adults, like actually face to face a couple times, right? And so we follow each other on social media. And she don't have no problem jumping on a plane and going somewhere for the weekend. Like she doesn't have a problem with that. And let me tell you something. Like I said, we learn from one another, right? And so I was like, man, girl, go ahead. Like, get on that plane. And so, in one of her posts, she was just talking about, yeah, I had to get away. And sometimes that's what we need to do. Sometimes we just need to steal away. We just need to steal away somewhere, right? And not, let me go get my little weekend bag. Let me go either drive here or whatever, and that's it. Or let me hop on a plane and go wherever, right? And so she was talking about, yeah, this is one of my favorite spots that I just like to just get on the plane and go, right? And so where she went to, it's a nice spot, right? Like a lot of people go there, travel there, high, a hot spot, right? And I'm thinking about where she lives and where that's at. I'm like, yo, that ain't nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like she could do that. Like I'm on the East Coast, right? So I gotta go all the way to the West Coast to get there. But I was like, hey, girl, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? If that plane ticket is $99 round trip, you go for it. Renee, you need to find you a spot, right? That's $89, $59 one way. You know what I'm saying? That you would go to and just be like, I'm still in the way, because I used to feel like, I'm like, yo, I'm going to leave and I'm not coming back. I had those thoughts, like, I'm leaving. Come on now, I ain't the only one, but I'm going to just go ahead and tell my story, right? I would think I'm going to leave and I'm not coming back. Like, that's how stressed out I used to be sometimes. So, right, we're learning not to do that, to protect ourselves and to protect our lifespan. Because if we continue down this path, right, we shorten up our lifespan. Like there are studies out there. I'm not going to go into the numbers again, but there are studies out there that show, right, different ethnicity groups and their lifespan. And like there's this gap that's there between certain ethnicities, and it has enlarged. So first it was like shrinking down, right? Because they were trying to put programs and plans in place, right, to get out good information, to make sure people were getting access to medical care, making sure that people was getting access to good food, right, and not just processed food and things of that nature. And now, after COVID, it has increased larger than it was before. That's crazy. That's crazy, right? It's crazy because we are not doing the things that we need to do to get there. So for instance, I'm going to get into these last 2 points, but I don't know where I'm going with this, but I just was thinking about this. So we complain about how much food costs if we go shop at, Eat Fresh, Whole Foods. People like to call it Whole Checks, right? Fresh Start, Sprouts, Wegmans. All of these, more of natural food grocery stores that have more organic things, things that are a little bit more healthy. They do have processed food, but it ain't like you're not going to find in Sprout Takis. They're not there. I don't care where you look at, they're not there. Maybe I'll do a video and we'll go in there and I can show you that it's just not there. When you go look for deodorant, right? There's Dove is not there. Dove is not there. I'm not coming for Dove. If you're a Dove fan, I'm not coming for you. Well, I'm just saying it's just not there. You're not gonna find orange soda. You're not. You might find flavored water that's orange and it's even sparkling, but you're not gonna find Fanta or Pops. You're just not. Pop soda, you're not going to find it. All right, so anyway, but we complain about that, but we're willing to go to a soul food restaurant and pay $30 for some fried chicken, some grits, and some mashed potatoes or greens or collard greens or some cabbage or whatever. I'm not coming for the soul food spots. I'm just talking about our mindset. But we're not willing, right, to go buy, some romaine lettuce and, some spinach and some asparagus and some broccolis and, some chives and some squash. We're not willing to do that, right? We're not willing to buy the chicken breasts and grill the chicken and, or what. We're just not willing to do that, but we're willing to do that. Okay, so let me think about that. Just think about it for a second. You really love Fanta, right? Well, just go get some flavored water. I don't know, try it. Maybe you haven't tried it. Maybe, look, I'm telling you, when you teach your palate what to do after a while, it will begin to like it. We don't like certain things because we haven't taught our palate. We haven't trained it, right, to really take in and really, think about that. Because, you learn to like, orange, Fanta from somewhere. Hmm? Hmm? Because was it always in the refrigerator? I don't know. You train Kool-Aid somewhere, Coca-Cola somewhere. I'm just saying. But anyway, getting back to these things, I want to get to it before we leave out of here. So that S in it is support, right? You need support. Everyone needs support when we're doing something, right? So you need a good support system that's around you. We were never meant to do life alone. So you want to surround yourselves, right, with individuals, right, to make sure that you're making healthy choices and respect your downtime, and that can step in those areas in which you need coverage for. So if I have people around me that's always like, yeah, go, 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 and no one ever's like, yo, chill, like, take time out, then I don't need those people around me. I need people around me that's going to be like, you're doing too much, sit down, you're doing too much, have you taken a vacation? When's the last time you've taken one? Have you taken some time off? When's the last time you had a massage? When's the last time you went and, you need people around you like that. You also need people around you like when you say, yo, my hours are this, and they make sure that is what is respected. You need those people. You need those people like you're like, you know what? I'm going to go on vacation, and you need somebody around you be like, yo, I got you. Where, what meetings, whatever. If you just want me to go in there, do you need me to relay something in the meeting? Do you need to you need those people around you? Because I guarantee you, if you were to die today, not saying that you are, but if you were, or you became ill, right, and you were not able to show up in those places and spaces, life will continue on without us. That was a hard reality for me. I'm just being honest. It really was. Because I was always trying to show up and to be there and not take leave or whatever the case may be at whatever job I was at. And then I was like, hold up a second. I don't know where I was sitting at, but I just heard something like that. And it was just like, yeah, we'll go on. Or maybe I was like, somebody passed away, especially when I was in my first duty station. Somebody actually literally ended up dying, and they were in a car accident, and it was just like this reality, like. But guess what happened the next day? So we get information, they announce it, and everybody's feeling like, oh my gosh, I can't believe, like I just talked to them. Like, what? And they weren't drinking, they weren't driving, they had nothing to do with drugs or anything of that nature. And it's like, yo, like, I just was talking to them. And so we're informed, everybody's feeling bad, but guess what? I still had to get in that truck and go on that mission. The next day, I still had to show up for formation. We were still there the next day in formation. And we still had to do physical training. And we still had to go on missions. And we still had to do, like life went on. And there were moments in there where they were like, okay, we're asking people to do this, whatever, for the individual that passed away if you wanted to. But we kept going. And then as I got older and people were leaving this earth, I realized, oh, life it keeps going. Like, no one's stopping. No, life is going to just keep going. And so it's okay to take time and step away. I didn't do so well in 2024 like I thought I did. So this year in 2025, I'm going to be a little bit more intentional about looking at my leave, because I was leaving, like, not actually being at work, so to speak, but the stuff that I was doing was for work. So it was like I was traveling, but it really was for work. It wasn't really for myself. And so it showed up at the end of the year when I had to take leave, and I was like, oh snap, I got all this user loot. Like, I'm not even touching my regular leave because I got all this user lose that I have to use. And on top of that, you got compensatory time and you got comp travel time. That was crazy. Renee, what does that prove at the end of the day? It's not proving that Right. Oh my gosh, you got all this leave or whatever, and so you're such a good worker. No, it shows that you are not responsible enough to take care of you. That's what it showed. Okay. Moving on. So you need to make sure that you have that good support system, that you're balancing, right, those things. And so I challenge you. If you don't have any supporters, or maybe you have one person, you need to get two more. Have at least three, right? In like three dimensions or whatever of your life to make sure that you're maintaining some type of balance and accountability. All right. And for the last one is time, right? Subconsciously, we believe that going back to what I was talking about, the person passing away, that we have all this time in the world. We think that we know that we're going to be here tomorrow. You don't really know if you're going to be here tomorrow. You assume that you're going to be here tomorrow. You assume that you're going to be here the next year. You assume, right? We don't really know that. So I challenge the notion that we have that we have unlimited time. Do we really have unlimited time? No, we don't. No, we don't. We don't have unlimited time. If you're a believer, you have unlimited time in heaven, but there's no unlimited time here on earth. Whatever religion that you believe in, there's no unlimited time here on the earth, right? And so living intentionally every day is what's going to be the key. Not to say that you should go out there and be like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I'm going to be here tomorrow, so I got to spend up everything, I got to do everything. No, what it means is just be responsible, right? Again, and taking care of this one temple, right? And just seeing, as I'm taking care of my temple, I'm not causing myself self-harm. And so if I don't cause myself self-harm, then I'm not doing things that will cause me to leave this earth sooner than what I'm supposed to leave, right? Because there's a thing called prematurely, right? We can leave something or do something prematurely, which can have an effect of, right? So for instance, like my mother passed away. And I think that if she was like, the way she passed away, it wasn't to the point where I was like so shocked that this is the way that she, passed away. Would I love for her to still be here? Yes, I would. I mean, she was not an old lady, although in her mind, right? Because all of our mental capacity, in her mind, she was like, she's 60 and she was in her early 60s. But in her mind, she was like in her 80s. I'm like, ma'am, you're not that old. But it was the way she would respond and the way she would do, act or whatever. And I'm like, you're not that old. Like, you're 60, right? Like, that's not old. It's not old to me. 70 is not even old, right? And you still have people that's in their 80s that's still running, working out, traveling, right? Like, that's my hope, right? That I want to be in my 80s and I'm still out there doing 1 mile a day, right? At least a 1 mile a day, right? I'm still doing push-ups, right? I'm doing sit-ups, right? I'm out there bicycling. That's what I want to be doing. So anyway, just make sure that we are resting to be effective leaders. Because the way we treat ourselves is that expectation that we have for those whom we are serving, right? If you're serving a team, right, and serving in our home, these are the expectations. Because if I don't give myself rest, then my expectation is no one else should be resting. You're thinking they're lazy or whatever. But if I understand the importance of rest, then I'm going to make sure that people are resting. I'm going to make sure that they're taking time off. I'm going to make sure that they're going to bed at a proper hour. Like I'm always telling Murdoch, don't stay up too long. You need to go to bed. And even when he gets into bed, I have to sometimes tell him, go to sleep. Go to sleep. Get off your phone, stop doing, and go to sleep. Same thing with the little girl, right? And so that's where accountability comes into play. That's that support system that I was talking about. So you just want to make sure that you are mindful, of that as you're going forward. You're going to make sure that those that you're serving, I haven't seen you take any time off this quarter. When are you going to take time off? Right? And sometimes if you have the ability, as a leader in an organization to award people time off, do that. I don't care if it's, extra 15 minutes of 59 minutes, right? 2 hours, give an administrative leave. Show people that resting is important. You don't know what that time could mean for them and what they can do in that amount of time. All right, so that's it. We went a little bit over today. Maybe because of the beginning of my rambling, but we did. But it was good, all right? So remember that leading is teachable. It is teachable. I love you. There's nothing you can do about it. Don't forget to go out there and get the book and also do a review. I love you. Stay restful. Peace.